Peace. This is your brother Heru Amen 7 coming black at y'all. You already know. I want to say Hotep to my African family, and I greet the world in the universal greetings of peace. A video was made by Shaka Ndugu-KMT, Afrostyly, whatever his name is, or his split personalities, and the name of this video was called Saw Imhotep hiding from Shaka while engaging Wesley Muhammad. It was made October 25th, 2011. Now in this video, Afrostyly happened to, he happened to say that Heru happens to teach and defend African living a jungle life. Now, Heru does not teach and defend Africans living a jungle life. You see, what Afrostyly does is he misrepresents the way a person would actually expound upon a situation. Rather, he decides to just throw it out there instead of letting a person come and to speak on how he actually sees whatever information that Afrostyly happens to disagree with. But of course, he has an audience that he wants to energize. So he has to carry himself in a Sethian way, in a way of causing confusion and chaos. And I understand. So with this situation, when it comes to me and Afrostyly, this is just a Heru versus Seth type situation. That's all it is. Now, when we look into the history as taught by the great Dr. John Henry Clark, the great Dr. Ben, the great Dr. John G. Jackson, the great Dr. Van Vansatima, we clearly understand and clearly see that Africans lived all over the planet Earth. They did not just specifically live in a continent that we know as Africa today. They traveled all over the planet Earth. But we understand that Africa is the birthplace of where mankind and where Africans came out of. It is the mother. It is the womb. And we understand clearly that Africans did not simply live a jungle life. There were jungles that Africans lived in, but Africa did not just consist of jungles. We have ancient Kemet, we have ancient Nubia, we have Ghana, we have many different places, Libya, etc., that does not just consist of, or does not at all consist of jungles. So for me to even come and say that Africans just live a jungle life, that would be wrong. That's not right, especially when I look into the works of my elders. So the accusation and the shots that you're trying to throw towards Brother Heru's way, it's not strong enough, because I've been taught by the elders. So you can't touch me. Now, when you're speaking about the lesson in terms of what is expressing, I feel that the situation where Africans live in a jungle life, how that happened to come within that lesson, is because the fact that at that time in the 30s and before it, here in the wilderness of North America, Africans were showed in that light. They were only showed as living in jungles, but they were never showed as being a great people, as building pyramids, as controlling civilization. So most of the people had this perception that we just lived a jungle life because of the lack of history that they had at that time. So I feel statements were made like that because of more of a lack of information. And they didn't have as much history as we had now. So to compare yourself with the information that we have now coming from our scholars, and to try to refute information that originates in the 30s, does not make any sense at all. It's kind of unfair. Even when you look at Marcus Garvey, when you look at the program, the UNIH mission, actually Garvey, one of the missions, one of the rules was that one of our jobs was to actually civilize the backwards tribes of Africa. So Marcus Garvey thought at that time, he understood that Africans had great empires, etc., but he thought also that they had specific Africans or African tribes that were backwards. All you gotta do is read Message to the People. Message to the People. And that was the aims and objects of the UNIA. To civilize and to bring a form of religion to the backwards tribes of Africa. Was he right? No. But I understood what he meant. So it's the same thing when it comes to the degrees. I understood what it's saying, but the way it's worded, if you read it and you just take it like that literally, then you will get the wrong idea in terms of what it's expressing, because we have to deal with fact, we have to deal with ma'at. So I don't know what you're talking about now. That little homie is so funny. This is Afrostyly. That little homie is so funny because not long ago he talked about being 5% and not being nation of gods and earth is a what? Yo, Afrostyly, Shaka. 5% is specifically a percentage of people. It's a percent. When you go back into your house or when you go at your agency, look for a book that deals with mathematics. Go into the glossary and look for the term percent and find out what percent means. When I say that I'm 5%, 5% means it's a percentage of people that teach that the black man is God, teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth, and is a civilized people. This is what the 5% describes. It describes a percentage of people who live by these rules, who lives by these principles. It's no different from me saying 90% of Africa is rich or 60% of Africa deals with Islam. It's simply a percentage. I am not in the nation of gods and earth. As I'm speaking to you, I am not part of the nation of gods and earth. Okay. Little homie defends the lessons, but it says that Christianity is a dirty religion. Now, when it speaks of Christianity as being a dirty religion, I'm quite sure many of your comrades would actually agree with it, that specific statement. And when we look into the Bible, we see poisonous fluids that flow through the book. So this is one of the reasons why it was considered at that time, and still till to the day, to be a dirty religion. And when you look into the history, you'll understand why Christianity is a dirty religion. But I'm also quite sure you agree with that same statement, especially looking at the mindset of you. It is the purpose in what you do. These people, I check them and they get mad. Sir, Afrostyly, you don't check me. I'm saying, you may check other people, but not me. You can't check me, because half the stuff you tell me I already know. You can't catch me in no corner where you think you're going to be able to just, hit me up like that. And you just can't do that, because I already studied under the elders and I'm still studying under the elders. So you can't catch me with none of that. The fact that you're able to look in a museum and to show original artifacts that African people have developed is great. Because what you're showing is what my people and your people, our people, were able to bring forth, showing the supremacy and the intellect of our people. So what you're saying, I don't really, what argument are you using? The fact that you are able to find artifacts, because I'm African centered, brother. I am Ma'at. I speak Ma'at, and I deal with Ma'at in all its forms, not just in Kemet, but also in Buddhism, Taoism. Wherever I can find Ma'at, I use it. Because my art is a principle. It's an African principle, sir. And I'm quite sure you know this. So the fact that you're able to show artifacts and stuff like that, I think you feel that you're actually beating on people, but you're not really, because most of the people's not really paying you no attention. They're not. Just to keep it 100. They don't talk about you like that. Let me let you know, they don't. Also, the claims that you're making with homosexual and all that, I don't support homosexuality. My ancestors did not teach it. It's not the natural order of things. It's not my art. It's fact. All nature, when you look at nature, especially when you look at the animal world, you clearly see that the order is to reproduce. So I don't support homosexuality. Homosexuality is a crime in Africa. It is one of the crimes that was listed in the 42 laws of Ma'at. So I don't agree with homosexuality. And those thoughts were something that originates with you. It don't originate with me. I never brought that up. You did, as you came again on YouTube and brought it up. I don't support that. Now, the church going stuff, I'm not a Christian. I spoke on that. And also, brothers and sisters, subscribe to the channel. You can also check the video, Homosexual Afrostyly. I spoke on the whole situation with his claims or whatever. Also, the video you made teaching a 5%er who doesn't even know his lessons. Afrostyly, he created a video called Teaching a 5%er Who Doesn't Even Know His Lesson. Now, one of the claims that was made by Afrostyly, he brought up when he came on a show, and also when he in his videos, the fact that the root of civilization is in the Arabian desert. I told him that that was incorrect, and Afrostyly quoted this from Supreme Wisdom, but the Supreme Wisdom that he quoted it from did not have the right wording. The wording was incorrect. Afrostyly snatched it off the internet and brought it to the people on YouTube, and he told the people, and he came on the show promoting it. This is the tricknology of Afrostyly. He's a trickster. He's Seth. He snatched some off the internet, some lessons off the internet, and come with an argument, not knowing that he was incorrect all the time. And he's so bold to go and make a video called Teaching a 5%er Who Doesn't Even Know His Lesson. He thought in his word that he was teaching me right information, when he was teaching wrong information, incorrect information. He didn't get that. What you looked at on the internet, Afrostyly, when you went into Yahoo and Google, and you went on the internet, and you looked up the lessons were worded wrong. The root of civilization is not in the Arabian desert. The lesson does not say that. Now, when you have an original copy of the Supreme Wisdom, you will see that it says the root of civilization is in Arabia, at the holy city of Mecca. Not the Arabian desert. So you was incorrect. You was wrong. You snatching information off the internet and you just throw it out there. Man, you comedy, man. You stand-up comedy. So I'm gonna end it with this. And Afrostyly, he's not really worth it. He's just not. And we're gonna leave it at that. Of course, we know Afrostyly, he's doing his job, spreading the misinformation, causing confusion. And Wesley Muhammad, Afrostyly is not worth your time. Don't even waste your time trying to debate Afrostyly. You know what I'm saying? He may come with 1,000 artifacts at the debate instead of, coming with, information that can actually be debated. So you'll waste your time. Afrostyly, man, stop snatching information off the internet like that and bringing to the people misinformation. And I want to say hotep to my African people, and peace to the world of those who practice righteousness.